guys, so this is a little bit different setting than before. I wanted to come on here because I was just in the middle of worship and I was gonna write a post, but I wasn't really sure what to write, and so I felt like I wanted to come on here and I wanted to share some things that the Lord has really been walking me through and the things that He's really put on my heart. I've noticed that He likes to have me share things that I am personally going through and to really kind of give you guys some of the things that I've learned through it. So I opened up my Bible, and that's one of my favorite things to do, is just to pray and open up the Bible, and it actually opened up to Job, which is very interesting. I haven't actually read much of Job, but I want to read to you guys a few things that was kind of pointed out. So in Job 22:21 through 22, it says, "Submit to God and be at peace with Him. In this way, prosperity will come to you. Accept instruction from His mouth and lay up His words in your heart." Now, it's kind of funny because something that's really been on my mind a lot is about jobs. And for you guys that don't know, I actually got a new job about 2 weeks ago. And you know, something that was really difficult was, I think a lot of us have a lot of desires and dreams that the Lord has put in our heart, and often we don't realize that where we are right now is positioning us to get to those desires and the bigger calling, I would say, because I mean, we are living in our calling right now, but I really feel like there's always a place that the Lord wants you to grow to get to, you know, exactly just living in like the biggest part of your calling. I don't know, does that make sense? Like, we are living our calling out right now, being obedient to the Lord and doing all these things, but I feel like to reach our full potential, we have to go through these things. We have to go through character building. We have to go through learning that where we are right now is valuable. And that kind of brings me to the main topic I wanted to talk about right now, is that where you are right now is so valuable. Despite if it's, you know, a lot of it has to do with jobs. I know a lot of the time the world kind of will make it, oh, if you don't have this certain job, then it's not really all that important. Or maybe you're only making, you know, minimum wage or less than minimum wage. You know, maybe that's like something that's what you could find and that's what you're doing right now. Or maybe you have a wonderful job that you love. Despite whatever it is that you have, there is value where you are right this second. And something that I was going through a lot was I was so irritated. I was just to the point where I was so mad because I had all these things that I had dreams about and all these things that I was wanting to do. And I thought, well, how in the world is this job gonna get me here? Like, this sucks. You know what I'm saying? I think, just being honest with you guys, because I know we've all felt like that. Like, if it's work or if it's stuff going on at home, or you know, if it's kids or family, whatever it is, or just, you know, personal trials, it's like, well, Lord, this sucks. Like, you say that you're good, like you have all these promises for me and you give me all these desires, like why are they not here? Like, why am I not able to just be joyful, happy all the time? And the thing is there's certain things that we have to go through because the Lord is continually building our character. He's continually saying, no, I need you to trust me over your feelings. And that's a big thing for me, is so often our feelings they're just lying to us a lot of the time. Like, we have to know the truth. We have to know what the word says, because if we don't, then we're swayed so much, and the enemy can use so much to distract us and get us into this place where we think, oh, like, this is not worth my time. Like, I am just so depressed. I'm so upset. Like, I don't understand. But that's the thing. Like, we have to understand that where we are right now, we could be the only Jesus that somebody sees. We have to understand that it's a responsibility and it's an honor to be able to go out into the world and be different than everyone else, to really understand things that most people don't. And I feel like there's so many of you that, you know, go to your workplace or go out, and there's so many people that the Lord says, hey, I need you to show them my love. I need you to show them the truth. And so even when we're at work and it may not make sense, just know that the Lord has a reason for you there. And I'm not going to say, okay, everything happens for a reason. I feel like everything has a divine purpose. Like when the Lord has a purpose for every step of your life, everything that you have to go through. Because, for instance, He can't just put us at the top because maybe we're not ready to be there yet. There are certain characteristics that we need to develop. There are certain things that we need to really understand. Or maybe it's getting the word in your heart, like when it says this, accept instruction from His mouth and lay up His words in your heart. Maybe some of you need to focus on just getting the Lord's words in your heart, that when you go out in the workplace or when you just go out, no matter where it is or who you're with, you can know who you are because you have His words in your heart. So, another thing I wanted to talk about was in Job 23:3, it says, if only I knew where to find Him, if only I could go to His dwelling. See, and this is what Job was talking about. He was pretty much in a place of just groaning and complaining about so many things that were going on in his life. And the thing was, if you guys don't remember in the beginning, the Lord said to Satan, hey, you can test this one because I know that he's always going to follow me. And I feel like in some ways, you have to know that there's some of you, like the Lord trusts you. If you have such a relationship with Him, He's going to trust you. And so He's going to allow certain things because He knows, like, hey, I need you to get this. And so when I read that, it just reminded me of sometimes how I can feel, you know, when I get up and it's like, oh, I gotta do this and this week, there's so much going on. And you can start to feel like, well, only if I knew where to find Him. If only I could get into that dwelling place. But that's the thing, is we can walk in peace, we can walk in His joy constantly. And sometimes, you know, sometimes we have to go through that period where we're just not happy, we're not joyful. It doesn't mean that it's there, but the Lord is working stuff out of us. And I think that we have to understand that that's okay. It's okay to go through those things. It's okay to cry and to cry out to the Lord and tell Him, like, I don't think I can do this. I don't feel ready. I don't feel like this is for me. And He will listen. He hears your prayers and He will answer. So another thing that I marked down was this, which is Job 37:5. And it says, God's voice thunders in marvelous ways. He does great things beyond our understanding. See, this is another thing. And like when I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's so good. And it got me excited because when it says God's voice thunders in marvelous ways and He does great things beyond our understanding. See, I feel like there's so much, and even me, this is something that I feel like the Lord's showing me too, but there's so many of us that we get so stuck in, we're trying to figure it out. We're always trying to understand what the Lord's trying to do, or how does this go together, or is this a puzzle piece? You know, we're trying to build this puzzle when He's saying, like, I'm not going to give you the whole puzzle yet. It kind of goes with the waiting that I talked about last time. He's not going to give you everything yet because He wants you to trust Him. He wants you to just live in obedience and knowing that He has you. And so when He says He does great things beyond our understanding, you have to understand that He is working, what is that called? Like on the sidelines? I don't know. He's working behind the scenes. There we go. Behind the scenes of what it looks like in your life. And He is making these great things beyond our understanding happen. But, you know, we have to still go back to the Lord is growing us. He's going to grow you through certain things to get you to that place where it's like, okay, now I understand what you're saying. And He will reveal it to you. So, I really hope that was something that really could touch your guys' heart. I just opened the Bible and I was like, Lord, what do you want me to share? And I didn't really quite know, but it was so good because it kind of goes with everything that I've been thinking about today. And I wanted to share a song with you guys. It's called Surrounded, parentheses, Fight My Battles. And in the song it says, this is how I fight my battles. It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. And this song was so powerful. I actually heard this at a conference that I went to a couple weeks ago. And I was listening to this song, and I remember before I got there, I was battling with a lot of anxiety, and I was just everything with life. I didn't really know what the next step was. This was before I got the job and everything, and I didn't know what I was doing really at all. Sometimes you kind of get like that. You're like, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. But when I heard those words, it's like we have to understand that we can't run to anything else. We have to run straight to the Lord, and we have to just tell him how we're feeling, what's going on in our heart and our mind, because he cares and he loves you so much. And I think love is so overused in the world now that it's like, oh, he loves me. Like, okay. No, like he loves you. He's never gonna let you down. He's never going to backstab you. He's never going to do anything to harm you. He loves you. And so when you run to him, you know that it's safe. He is a safe place. He is your rock. And so I just encourage you guys, because I do this too. When I'm having a really tough day, or when I don't really, there's so many emotions going on, I'll run to, you know, social media or a TV show or food, whatever it is. Like sugar, that was my thing. But, you know, just knowing that he has you all the time. And so, especially when it says, it may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. So just always remember that, you guys. Love you. Bye.